We begin in Israel. Officials there say that 7 people have been killed after a Palestinian gunman opened fire outside an East Jerusalem synagogue. Several others have been wounded and are in critical condition. The shooting took place in the Jewish neighborhood of Neve Yaakov. Israeli police are describing it as a terror attack. They say the suspected gunman has been killed. This is the deadliest attack on Israelis in years. The U.S. State Department has condemned the incident, calling it absolutely horrific. And it follows a deadly raid in the West Bank by Israeli troops who say they were targeting militants who were planning an attack. Okay, we want to go now to journalist Sami Sokol, who is in Jerusalem, standing by. Sami, what more can you tell us about this shooting?
A 21-year-old from the Mount of Olives in East Jerusalem went to this residential area, also in East Jerusalem, a Jewish residential area, in his vehicle, and he parked by a synagogue in Neve Yaakov. He got out of his car and began opening fire indiscriminately. And after shooting, there were women, men, children. We know of a 15-year-old kid and his father that were killed there. He continued driving, and then he shot in another location. Now, there were other policemen in the area that were already on alert because of the tensions, and then they began opening fire on the vehicle, and he got out of the car, and they shot and killed him. We're talking about 7 Israelis killed, and there are more in the hospitals.
Sami, you say the tension was already high. I mean, this has happened after we saw a flare-up of violence between Israel and the Palestinian territories this week. Talk to me a little bit about why the tension is so high right now.
Yeah, well, yesterday morning, there was an Israeli military operation in the Jenin refugee camp. 9 Palestinians were killed. A woman, a civilian, and the militants were killed. The Palestinians, they described this massacre, and various organizations said that there will be a response, that there will be a revenge. There have been protests throughout the West Bank today against this attack in Jenin. And we've also seen airstrikes in Gaza as a response to rockets that were launched from Gaza. So what Hamas officials and Islamic Jihad officials are saying today, that what we saw today in Jerusalem, the killing that we saw in Jerusalem, was justified, and that it's a natural response to the Israeli crimes in Jenin.
Journalist Sami Sokol reporting tonight from Jerusalem on what has been several days of violence in that region. Thank you, Sami.